a legendary actor. He's known for writing A Bronx Tale. Chazz Palminteri.
If I'm ever going to spoof it, this is the time to do it.
The cast from Entourage is here. What's your favorite storyline that did not make it into the show?
The Eli Manning storyline.
Good answer. All right, welcome to the Eli Manning Show. I'm Eli Manning, and we're getting ready for episode 2. I cannot believe it. I thought it was going to be a one and done after the first one, but we're back on.
Wow, we got a week 2. That's impressive. I will say this. I got a lot of great feedback from the first episode. The only requests they had were more food and more beer.
No, that was me. I requested those.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah,
oh, good call.
I wrote that in.
Good call.
So I think we can do it though. But we have the cast from Entourage is here. We also have one of the legendary actor and screenwriter, creator of A Bronx Tale, Chazz Palminteri. So they'll join us in a little bit. But first, obviously on Sunday, most important thing, football, right? Football.
Right, church, then football.
Yes,
Yeah.
but a close second is obviously the food that goes along with game day. So in that case, we have Roger, the deli guy that's here. Roger, what you got for me?
Eli, I got a sandwich to you that's gonna knock your socks off. Filet mignon, fresh mozzarella, caramelized onions, arugula. Don't forget the 100% garlic olive oil, the chimichurri sauce. Are you kidding me?
All right, a lot of energy there from Roger. Roger will check back in a little bit and see what you've prepared for us. So
Roger.
Now I think it's time we introduce our first guest. We got the obviously one of the great all-time shows on TV, Entourage. And with it, we have a couple of cast members. We got Kevin Connolly, Kevin Dillon, and the creator and writer, Doug Ellin, joining us today. Boys, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys. What's going on?
Hey, listen, but before we get started, and everybody just ignore the fact that Kevin Dillon is frozen right now. He'll be joining us shortly. I feel like we need to do some sort of like virtual hug right now.
Right.
And we need to clear the air between Doug and Eli, because apparently Eli big timed you a few years back. So I just want to set the table right now. Whatever you got to say, Eli, let's hug it out.
Let's talk about it.
Listen, Eli, as he probably knows, was my favorite player, and
Wow.
now I think he's going to get right back there in about 5 minutes. But hopefully Eli remembers it like this. But after they won the Super Bowl, which Kevin and I were at that game,
Dylan was there too, and he was not frozen. He was actually there.
he was also late to that game as well, though. But Eli called me and said he wants to be on the show, and I said, "Of course you're on the show." And I wrote a script, and then I called a few times, and Eli never called me back. So anyway, it's been.
I called you back. You wanted to shoot in June, but right in the middle of practices, you're like, hey, I thought it was going to be like a one-day deal. Like I show up on a Friday afternoon shoot, and I'm out. And you're like, no, I need you here Monday to Friday. I'm like, I can't miss 4 days of practice to come be on Entourage. Like, Shaun.
We got Tom Brady. He missed that practice, and he got 5 more Super Bowls since then.
He didn't go to all-season workout.
But by the way, there is no animosity about it at all. I'm glad I get to talk to you, and
hug it out. Hug it out.
David Deal's my boy, so we can all hug it out. And we have the original script, which I wanted you to read with Dylan, so we could compare your performance to Tom Brady. But Dylan is on a plane somewhere or something.
Why didn't you get Shaun O'Hara? Why didn't you get Shaun O'Hara to be the bodyguard? Because he's only 6'1", so you didn't look like a bodyguard.
Deal was great. And he really, the camera loves David Deal. So
Kevin, I remember seeing you after many wins over at One, the bar in the city. That was a hot spot for us on Sunday nights. We shared a few adult beverages, I believe.
We did. We had a couple beers. I remember at one point you were like, "Hey, E, will you grab me a beer?" And I was like, "You know what? It's Eli Manning, right?" There's certain people where you don't mind being called by your character name. But yeah, we had some good times at that spot.
Well, it's funny. You guys are talking about how you were at the Super Bowls and watching games with us. I remember, it being whether it was training camp or in the season, and we couldn't wait for the next episode to air on HBO of Entourage. We were all locked in. We couldn't wait for it.
And what were some of your favorite moments from the show? Just those iconic moments, you think?
Shooting at Yankee Stadium. I had my kids and all my friends there, and we kind of owned Yankee Stadium. U2 concerts, getting Bono to, say happy birthday to whatever this character's name is that is not with us today.
But guys, we had a tremendous opportunity to do a lot of super cool things, whether it was shooting at the Laker games or, we went to Cannes We shot at Sundance. So the special moments that I remember were us being able to do some unique things that other shows just didn't have the flexibility to do. So.
All right, guys, here we got a little special part of the segment. This is called the no huddle. This is the 2-minute drill. So we're gonna put a clock. We got 2 minutes. I'm gonna ask a question between Shaun and I. We're gonna ask questions. You got to give a fast answer. Whoever wants to answer it, just go, and we'll go rapid fire here. All right. So number one, what were some alternate titles for the show, if any?
There were
Entourage.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Doug, this is for you. Larry David or David Chase?
Larry David. Larry David's my. I love David Chase, but Larry David, 100%.
Doug, what's your favorite storyline that did not make it into the show?
The Eli Manning storyline.
Good answer. Are we a family feud right now? Number one answer. For both of you, what guest actor that you only booked for one show was so good that you had to write more episodes for them?
Oh, Emmanuel.
Billy Walsh.
Reese Coiro, who played Billy Walsh. I mean, not to be an asshole, but Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
We brought him back for the movie.
Don't you think it's ironic that he was okay with missing practice to come on the show and then he lost the Super Bowl that year?
Wow.
So maybe we did something for Eli as well. So.
Thank you.
All right. What's Vince's best movie?
Oof.
Aquaman.
Yeah, well, I think Medellin will grow on people as the years go by, if anyone knows the inside references to that. But, probably Aquaman,
Yeah.
James Cameron does it right. He always does.
Kevin, rate Doug and Dylan as employees out of 10.
Doug is an overachiever. Doug is a 10. Dylan, I gotta be honest, Dylan's a 6.
Yeah, he's a home run hitter.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Honestly, I'm not making excuses for Dylan. He loves you. He does. Weirdly, he loves you.
I feel it. I feel the love. I really feel it.
He's showering Eli with love right now. I tell you, all right, listen, we got some Giants fans here, right? Who do we hate more, Eagles or Cowboys, between the two of you?
I got to say Eagles, because Jerry Jones, he gave us the stadium to shoot Entourage at.
Yeah, I'm kind of over the Cowboys. I think I probably hate the Cowboys more. I think they get a lot of leeway.
All right, the no huddle.
All right, thank you guys. That was like 6 minutes. So we didn't quite make it under 2 minutes. The answer's a little long, but we got good answers. So we appreciate
Sorry
it.
about that.
And Kevin, Dylan, thanks so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. You look great holding your award there. Yeah, tell us a little about your podcast. You three are kind of traveling around, and what's going on
so we're
there?
we're doing Victory the podcast, and now we're doing these live podcasts. So we're going to be in Long Island and Huntington November 20th, and then in Westchester on December
3rd. No, December 3rd
at the Capitol Theater.
And we're at the Wilbur in Boston on the 2nd.
But it's pretty wild.
If you want to be our special guest host.
Yeah, Eli, that could really get us to hug it out. If you showed up in Huntington,
write me in, and maybe I'll show. I'll be 50-50.
He doesn't have practice now. He's got nothing to hide.
No excuses. But boys, thanks so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. Good luck with the podcast, and I can't wait to check that out. And obviously, big fans of the show and big fans of both of y'all. So really appreciate you being a part of this.
Victory!
Thank you, guys.
All right.
We need that from Eli.
All right,
guys. Thanks.
Right now, we got to introduce a legendary actor, one of the best writers. You've seen him in The Usual Suspects. You've seen him in Analyze This, but he's known for writing A Bronx Tale, a legendary movie, and he's a huge Giants fan. Please welcome Chazz Palminteri. All right, Chazz, thanks so much for being on.
All right.
Chazz, nice to meet you. Hold on.
There you go. Get in there.
We got to bring it for the real thing.
It's all right, bro.
Hug it out. Chazz, obviously A Bronx Tale, legendary movie. It's your life story. It's your masterpiece. Tell us this, how it all formed from you just doing a one-man show to the movie, back to a one-man show now. Tell us that story.
Most people know, but some people don't, that it started as a one-man show, which I still do. I'm doing the one-man show now. I'm doing a tour all over the United States. What happened was I was 9 years old. I was sitting on my stoop, and I saw these two cars. One guy was parking this way, another guy was parking that way. I thought they were fighting over the parking space. And I said, wow, look at that. And a guy got out of the car with a baseball bat, smashed the window, just like in the movie, just exactly like in the movie. And the other guy got out, his face was covered with blood, and the guy went to hit him again, and this gangster came over, and shot the man who, with the baseball bat, he fell down, I mean, literally from here to the table. And I'm staring at the guy, and he stared at me. The next minute I knew my father dragged me up the steps. Cut 2 years later, I'm an actor in LA, and I got on a few shows, Hill Street Blues, things like that. Then finally I said, you know what? I got to do something for myself. And I'm working as a doorman because I ran out of money as an actor in LA. I had my 1972 Honda. I had this rundown apartment. I sat there and I said, what the hell am I going to do with my life? And then I saw my father's car. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent. And I said, you know what? I'm going to write my own one-man show. And I said, what am I going to write about? The killing when I was 9, right? I wrote about that. I performed it for my theater workshop, a 5-minute monologue. And all of a sudden, everybody loved it. So it took me about 10 months to keep writing stories until I had this 90-minute story of my life up till the time I was 17 years old. I put it up in a theater. Bam! My life just exploded. Reviews, it was like amazing. More people kept coming. Al Pacino came, Jack Nicholson came. All these stars came because they wanted to play Sonny. And then finally, a month later, my agents brought me to this other client. I won't say who they are. Another studio. And the guy said, Chazz, if you sign this paper, you'll have a check for $1 million tomorrow. And I said, $1 million. I got $200 in the bank. I said, what the hell am I going to do? I said, I'll sign that paper. And I could tell, as soon as I said that, they all kind of smiled. And I said, but I play Sonny and I write the screenplay. He said, Chazz, we can't do it with an unknown. He said, you're going to turn this check down right now? I said, yes. 2 weeks later, I'm doing the show, standing ovation, packed house. All of a sudden, I get off stage and a guy walks over to me and says, Chazz, Robert De Niro just saw the show. He ran into your dressing room. He's waiting for you. I said, Robert De Niro? He said, yeah. I walk in the dressing room and there's Bob sitting in the corner. He's like, you know. I said, hi, how you doing? And he said, that was the greatest one-man show I ever saw. I said, yeah, I had this idea. And he said, you should play Sonny, you'll be great. He goes, I'll play your father, I'll direct it. And he goes, and if you shake my hand, that's the way it'll be. Shook his hand and that's what happened.
Woo! I love it. I love it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Now back full circle, and you're doing
the one-man show again. That's right. And I tell people, if you want to come and see it, go to ChazzPalminteri.net. And my whole schedule for the year is there. It'll be at a city near you.
And obviously, you grew up in the Bronx, and you grew up a Giants fan, right?
Yes, always a Giants fan. I'll tell you something about Lee. I'm going to say it right now. All these fans that say, Tom Brady's the greatest, Tom Brady's the greatest. I say, you know what? Okay, won 7 Super Bowls, he's the greatest. But remember one thing. Tom Brady didn't beat the Giants, didn't beat Eli.
That's right.
Eli is two wins.
Twice we gave him chances.
0-2 against Eli.
He stole your line. Before the game, he went up to Tom Brady and said, do you know who I am?
Yeah, that's right.
You're a busy man, and you're doing all that work, and then at night, you go to one of your restaurants, and then you work there
thank
too.
You very much for that plug. I have 2 restaurants, one in White Plains, 264 Main Street, and one in Manhattan, 30 West 46th Street. I hate to say the best Italian food. Is it one of the great Italian restaurants? Absolutely, absolutely. Because there are a lot of great Italian restaurants, but mine is definitely one of the top 5, absolutely.
So a lot of people might be surprised by this, but this is not the first time that we have hung out before. And actually, you were a big part of this show coming together and me deciding on my co-host. So let's check this out for a second.
Okay.
I'm doing this show, and I don't know.
What's the matter with you? Talk to me. What's on your mind?
Well, I need a co-host, and I know this guy, and I like him and everything, but he's a retired offensive lineman.
You got to do what your heart tells you to do. I mean, come on, you only get 3 great co-hosts in your lifetime. This guy could be your first great co-host.
Chazz, you're right. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you trust this guy?
I don't know. I've never worked with him before.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do. Tomorrow I'm gonna lend you my car.
But Chazz, you never let anybody borrow your car.
Never mind that. I'm gonna lend you my car. Then you give him the test.
What, the Peyton test?
Peyton? Why you listen to that psycho case, Peyton? You give him the door test.
What's the door test?
Here's what you do. You drive up to where you're gonna meet him. You get out of the car, you lock both doors. Make sure you lock both doors. Then you walk around the car, you go where he is, open up the door, you let him get in. Then you walk around the back of the car and you look through the rear window like this. If he don't reach over and lift up that button for you so you can get in, you dump him.
What? Dump him? What about all that talk you had about you only get three co-hosts and like...
Man, that's all bull, kid. The door test. That's what counts.
Dump him.
Dump him.
Okay.
Hey. Hey, pal. Thanks for the lift.
Yeah, man. Let me get this for you.
Thank you.
He'll do.
This for me?
Yeah.
Always knew you were a great one.
All right, that was a lot of fun, Chazz. Thanks so much for doing that and being a part of this.
I'm telling you, I've never done that before in all the years, but, you know, I'm such a degenerate Giant fan, and I'm such a big Eli fan, and you guys. And I said, you know what, this will be fun to do. If I'm ever going to spoof it, this is the time to do it. So I had a lot of fun doing it.
And do you still keep up with the Giants? You watching games?
I watch the games, you know. I mean, we're having a little tough year.
Yeah, we'll get it going.
You watch any Monday Night Football games?
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you seen Eli?
Yeah, I saw it.
What do you think?
Yeah, it was great. Well, him and his brother, forget about it. I mean, they're fun. They're fun
Forget
together.
about it. Forget about it. There
You know,
we
him
go.
and his brother, when they do that thing, they're fun together, you know? I mean, think of this family. I mean, it's bad enough it's so hard to win a Super Bowl. I mean, he won 2, his brother won 2. His father was a great quarterback. And now you got this kid Arch, I hear, Cooper's son, that's supposed to be like, forget it.
Chazz, tell us a little about, I know you do involved in some charity work. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm doing this, I have the Child Reach Foundation where we do for children with blood disease, and we raise millions of dollars. And also the Child Reach helps, I support the NYPD. I'm a big supporter of the NYPD.
All right, now, Chazz, we get to have a little fun right now. We're going to play a little game, Shaun and I, and so we're going to name 10 actors that played an Italian character in a TV show or a movie, and you have to tell us, are they Italian or acting Italian? We're going to start off with the Godfather himself, Don Vito Corleone. Was he Italian or just acting Italian?
Acting Italian.
That is correct. Marlon Brando was not Italian.
Come on, this is a piece of cake.
All right. Let's go to
me some hard ones.
1970s. All right, that's 1970s sitcom star and the coolest guy on Happy Days.
Yeah.
Arthur Farnzarelli. Hey, the Fonz.
Not Italian.
All right, here we go. We got the club fighter turned world champ, the Italian stallion, Rocky Balboa. In real life,
Italian.
that is correct. Rocky, Sylvester Stallone is Italian.
Nice, good work. All right, this one's right up your alley. He was one of the Goodfellas in the movie Goodfellas. Henry Hill, in real life, is he Italian or is he Fugazi?
Yeah, Ray Liotta?
Yes, Ray
Italian.
Liotta. He's not Italian. I can't believe it. Is this card right? Are we
Ray
sure about
Liotta's
that?
not Italian?
He's a Fugazi. I'm not telling him that, though. You
Yeah, you
tell
say
him that.
that.
Yeah.
Let Sandy tell
I
him
thought he
that.
was
I'm not
half
telling him
Italian.
that.
All right, here we go. We're going back to the Godfather, the eldest son of the family, Santino Sonny
Not
Corleone.
Italian.
There you go.
This actor starred as Vinnie Barbarino in Welcome Back, Kotter.
Italian.
Bam, John Travolta. He doesn't even, there you go.
He does. All right.
Good work.
All right. He played the mob informant on Donnie Brasco in the movie Donnie Brasco. In real life, Italian or not Italian?
You're Johnny Depp, not
Sorry,
Italian.
you never heard of Brasco. It's Donnie Brasco.
Not Brasco, yeah, not Italian.
Yeah, I never saw that
Not
movie.
Italian.
Martin Scorsese's first film, one of his first films,
Mean
Streets. Yes, the actor played Charlie Kappa alongside Robert
Harvey
De Niro.
Keitel. No,
There you
not
go.
Italian.
Not Italian. You're right. Harvey Keitel.
All right. That's it. You nailed
Phenomenal.
it. Very good.
So good.
Very good. All right.
Hey, what do
you-
we got
what
here?
do you win? Oh,
We got prizes.
a bobblehead of me.
A bobblehead of you.
Yeah, how about that, right?
Bobblehead, hey, I want
That's gonna go in the
tickets
restaurant.
here.
If I come
I'm
to-
going to the game here.
If I come to the restaurant and that's not in your restaurant, I'm gonna
You
be
got it.
upset. All right, we gotta welcome back our boy Roger's coming in live. He's bringing in some hot sandwiches. Go ahead, Roger. What do we got here?
Look at this.
Holy moly!
Look at this spread.
Oh,
You can't get it any better, boys. Filet mignon, arugula, sizzled onions, fresh mozzarella,
All right.
uh-huh.
fresh olive oil and garlic. Give it a whirl, guys. Brick oven.
Delicious.
Fantastic.
How much, Chazz?
Get in there.
Choose your end.
All right, boys, that's the end of the show. What a wrap! What a show, Chazz. Thank you so much for coming on,
welcome.
Roger, Shaun.
Okay.
We're back at it. Appreciate it
Cheers.
so much.
Thanks,
all right.
Roger. Cheers, boys.
Bon appetit.
guys.
That's a tie-in,
This is
right?
just like Arthur Ave right here,
Just like
right?
Arthur Ave.
La Casa de Mozzarella.
Oh, I'm gonna need it later. Hey Giants fans, Eli Manning here. You want to see more videos? Subscribe now to our YouTube channel.